we have some people represented here. And then the Russian with 155 million. It's interesting that Russia is the largest country in the world. However, there is divided in many other languages. So only 155 million of their people speak Russian language. And then Japanese with 125. Punjabi, which is spoken in northern England, India, and Pakistan and Afghanistan, 100 million. German with 100 million, and Japanese. You know, we may have some people that speak Japanese here. You know what that is from? Indonesia. Japanese is from the island of Java. So that 82 million people speak that language. So you see the languages right here. And we also have even Hawaiian, that is might not even a major language. Mahalo. What is Mahalo? Thank you. Right? Thank you. So, you know, so we got all of these languages. Now then the Tower of Babel, this is very interesting because this is where all of this stuff was created. Babel was located in Mesopotamia, in the Valley of Shinar. Now, Babel was the original what? Babylon, right? In the same area. Babel means what? Confusion. Now, the Valley of Shinar means the land between two rivers, which, by the context, is a reference to Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia means the land between two rivers. And there are two main rivers there. You remember those? The Tigris and the Euphrates. Right? Both are present in the Bible, especially in the book of Revelation. When we did the series on Revelation in January, you remember that we talked about those two rivers, especially the Euphrates River. That was the easternmost border of Israel. Now, this is the Valley of Shinar. Now, in Genesis 11, 1-9, it tells us about all of this story. But before we get to that, can someone read Genesis 10:32? Can we read that text, please? Genesis 10, verse 32, so that we can have a little background, a little context into chapter 11. All right? Now, what it says, verse 32. Anyone reading? Danny. Preaching boys, Danny.
Yeah. These were the families of the sons of Noah, according to their generations, in their nations, and from these the nations were divided on the earth after the flood.
That is interesting. You see what the Bible is saying? That the sons of Noah were in charge of doing what? Repopulating what? The world. Right? God asked them, expand, multiply, fructify, have children, and many children, and more children, right? Don't watch TV, no internet. Right? That's what's happening. And the Bible says that Noah's three sons began to multiply after the flood. The timing is not specified. In other words, you know, we don't know how soon after the flood, or how soon after they opened the door, they started to multiply. But the Bible says that these sons, spread around, and the nations spread out over the earth because of these three guys, the three amigos, right? We can call them. And you know what that specifically entails, we don't know, but it is suggesting that they had many children. Most likely, every time that the woman would get pregnant, she would have maybe 2, 3, 4 kids at the same time. Because God is expert. He wanted to expedite the process so that the earth will be what? Repopulated again. So that's what God was doing, right? And not only that, He allowed polygamous and incestuous practices in order to achieve the command for multiplication. What is polygamous? So they have what? How many wives?
2 or 3.
Many. And they were incestuous. Why? Because most likely they were their sisters. But that's the only way. That was the only way. And somehow God allowed that so that humanity could spread. Why do you think God wanted the earth populated with humans? Why? Oh, I have to put the microphone. Can you say that again? You hear that? Because he loves people. Can we praise God for that? He loves people. He loves you and I. Even if you don't like yourself, he loves you. He is in love with you. What a God we serve. That's amazing. He's in love with us, right? And he wanted us to multiply. Now notice, don't make fun of the tongue. What I mean here is one tongue, one language, right? One language. Only one language was spoken in the world at this time, thus they would be more capable of what? Helping one another and less inclinable to separate from each other. So they wanted to be what? United together. How's this? We don't know the identity of this one language, but most likely it was a Semitic language. And we can guess, but the interesting idea is that where this in this area where the flood and where the boat stopped in the mountain in Ararat, it was either a Turkish language or a Semitic language. Now some of the Semitic languages are Hebrew, Arabic, Akkadian, Sumerian, Elamites, and different other languages like that we have here on the board. Aramaic is one of the famous ones. Sumerian, this was the language of Abraham. And Akkadian, other important language, which is Semitic in origin. Now, they had a common speech. What does that mean? It was the common language used by whom? By everybody. No exceptions or linguistic differentiation was made. Everyone spoke the same language. Before we continue with this, let me mention that means, for example, let me give you an example. English is spoken differently in New Zealand, Australia, and England from here, right?